SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Clark.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, or the accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning to you. How you doing? Hope it's a wonderful day for you and yours. On this Wednesday morning, of course, last night we had a work session of the McComb City Board of Mayor and Selectmen, and to be perfectly honest, the 52 minutes we have to spend on this aren't enough. Just because of the length of some of the discussions. Specifically when it comes to water-related things. This conversation will not die. It will not go away. It will not end. The problems will not end. Because in addition to the problems that we had identified, now we have more of those problems. And we have a new category of problems that we finally decided to start talking about. I think we're about to find out through official channels what we have known for quite some time. You and I have both known this, and that is the city of McComb is constructed of mostly problems at this point. That's it. We got problems. And then just to shake it up for variety's sake, we also have difficulties. And that's basically, the problems are load-bearing, is what I'm saying. The whole place would collapse without the problems that are about to make it collapse. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, welcome to City of McComb government conversation. Now, yesterday, I told you toward the end of the show, about halfway through, that the city clerk had resigned. And it wasn't subtle. Put it like that. That's a nice way to put it, I think. She wrote a letter to the board, said she was resigning effective immediately because Jean Casey, who was the city clerk, in her own words, had concluded that the current overly bureaucratic and political environment presents significant professional challenges that do not align with my accounting and financial leadership experience. And she ends her letter by saying, I will not be rescinding this resignation, which is a very fancy business-like way of saying, and I mean it, don't bother me. Yesterday morning, early yesterday afternoon, the city of McComb posted that they are currently accepting applications for the position of city clerk / chief financial officer. I would like to throw out there just a supposition on my part. If you think the financial situation inside City Hall is any better than it's been for the last 8 years, why do city clerks keep saying, nope, I'm done with this, and leaving? She hasn't even been here a year. It hasn't been a year since she took the job of city clerk in McComb, and she said, nope, I'm done. So the revolving door continues to be well greased on the city clerk's office. We just keep shoving them in. They keep popping back out and running for the hills. That's not because we've got our finances under control and everything is operating great and smoothly inside City Hall. And anyone that tries to tell you that, well, I'm not sure I would spend a lot of time, effort, or energy believing them. Because again, what do we go by? Not talk, not pretty words. We go by results. And if you have a continuous unbroken string of city clerks who come in, spend a few months to a year, year and a half, and then go, yeah, no, I'm out, and leave, and you bring the next one in, and they do the same thing. And this happens over and over and over and over for an 8-year period. You have problems. And if it's still happening now, you still have problems. Might be the same problems. That's my bet. Might be different problems. But you still have some massive problems. If one person comes in and quits, well, that was just a wrong fit. 2 people come in and quit. Well, you know, it's a tough job. When you have 8 years worth of people coming in, taking the job, not lasting a year and leaving or getting fired, then you have problems, not the applicants, not the people in the position. City government does. City clerk, if you're interested in burning 6-7 months of your life and greatly increasing your blood pressure, city clerk's office starting pay $72,611.43. The 43 cents is ridiculous. Oh, well, you know, we go by the standards. We go by what we have. Oh, shut up. Round it up, round it down. I don't care, but round it off. That just sounds Bush League. That sounds like a bureaucratic decision, which was one of the primary stated reasons the city clerk just resigned. Too much bureaucratic nonsense. The starting pay, $72,611.43. So they've got that up. You can send your resume, cover letter, proof of education and certifications, a blood sample. I don't know what all they'll need beyond that. To the city of McComb. You can find the information on their Facebook page. This was only mentioned one time last night when the city administrator Bill, was talking about various things going on, and he got into talking about his strategic plan for the year. We talked about this last week, that by the end of this year, he wants to have all of these things fixed, everything in good shape, everything working properly. Well, Selectman Mullins had a question the only time the city clerk situation was mentioned during last night's work session.
Will the resignation of the city clerk interfere with your timeline in getting these done?
Great question. No, I intend to deliver what I said and fight for it. Now, is it going to be difficult? Yes, it's going to be difficult. I will have to get more involved in that. And but I have a plan if I can pull it off. I believe, yes, I will keep this timeline. So I'll just have to fight for it. I'll figure it out.
Sounds to me like the city administrator, a week after talking about his plan, is starting to figure out what he's dealing with. what the situation truly is. Not the entire bucket full of rainbows and happy sunshine that was dumped all over his head when he came in, but the actual reality of the situation. Sounds like that's starting to nibble at the edges of his awareness, and he's starting to realize, well, I may have overpromised, but I'm going to try. And again, I say good for him. Good job. It is better to try and fail than never to try at all. He's trying. He's attempting something. And last night, we found out about new old problems. We have no actual new problems in the city of McComb. We have old problems that we've allowed to fester for 5, 10, 20 years and haven't bothered to do anything about them. But for now, going to have to do it with a new city clerk. At what point do we reach the bottom of the barrel and no one is willing to apply for that position anymore? I've been saying that for 8 years, so obviously it's a very deep barrel. There's a lot of people in there. We'll see. Maybe that's the mistake. They keep hiring good, qualified people, and they get in here and they want no part of this. Who needs a city clerk anyway? Just gumming up the works. I would assume having a city clerk, a competent city clerk, would make it a lot harder to cook the books if you were going to do such a thing. When we come back, we will get into the lovely surprise announcement. Now, this is something that City Administrator Bell had in his plan that he was going to deal with. You may not realize the extent of this problem, though, and what it means. We'll talk about that next.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalk PikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalk PikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalk PikeCounty.com.
Dave in the morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find? What will I find? Let me on the ground and fly me in the sky. Show me where to look,
Welcome back. SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5 on a Wednesday morning. Dave Hughes here. All right, we are once again city clerkless. It is a comfortable position for the city of McComb government to be in. Heaven knows they've had plenty of practice over the last decade. Got to be a solution to this. Well, I think you and I both know what the solution is. Eventually, we will hopefully see that solution happen. Now, City Administrator Bell had 2 or 3 items to talk about last night during the work session. Most of it pertaining to his strategic plan that he introduced last week in the meeting and the Tiger team. Tony, the head of the Tiger team, I would assume. This part deals with the water system. How long have we been dealing with problems with the water system? Let's see. We had about 400 meters that were malfunctioning, most of them because of bad registers. We had quite a few accounts, including some big accounts that hadn't been billed for water, hadn't paid a water bill in years that they caught. Now, we had to bring in an entire outside company, Water Company of America. Gotta like it when a company names itself in such a way that you know exactly what they do. Water Company of America. You're not bringing them in to look at your financials. You're going to scratch your head and go, well, it's not wet, so I don't know. You know what they do from their name. We brought them in. They're the ones that found the 400. They helped organize it, get everything together so we could get those 400 meters fixed and operational. And as always seems to be the case with problems in the city of McComb, we think we're close to the end. We think we're getting this under control. But wait, there's more.
On the water meters, we discovered on last week, we thought we were done with more water meters. We are not done with water meters. We discovered that there's some 200 additional meters that have errors being reported against them. We have registers that we have discovered that need to be replaced. So as a part of our critical success factors for 2026, all this work will be done under that requirement. So what I'll say is, please don't get excited about that. We're just going to incorporate it into the work that we're already going to be done. As a matter of fact, Eric and I talked about this today, just in terms of the services as we have identified them that's going to fall out on the public works water.
So we brought Water Company of America in, and they found 400 and got busy trying to get those fixed. Now, Water Company of America went home. They're back at the office. Got the feet propped up or in somebody's, cabinet looking at their sink. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. They found 2/3 of the water meters that were out, apparently, because now City Administrator Bell says there's another 200. That brings us up to 600. 600 water meters that were not functioning properly. I'll put it like that. I would like to point out, and this number was brought up in an earlier conversation, we'll hopefully get to at some point, not today, about garbage pickup and the request for proposals being put out to provide garbage pickup service for citizens. There's about 6,000 households in the city of McComb. That's the number that was thrown out. Selectman Cotting in that other conversation said it's about 6,000, and the mayor verified, yeah, that's about right, about 6,000. So we're now up to 600. 10% of the water meters in the city of McComb weren't working. because that's easy. Do it in your head math. 600 is 10% of 6,000. 10% of the water meters in the city of McComb were not working properly. So how many people haven't been billed for water that they've used? About 10% of the city, if you go by that number. How did we let it get to this condition? I'll tell you how. We're so busy prancing around talking about how great things are that we don't make them great. We don't actually take care of business. We're too busy talking and telling everyone how great we are at taking care of business to actually take care of the business. At least City Administrator Bell seems to have a different approach to that, so good for him.
We did have that leak that we had identified a couple of days ago. So Lake McConnings has been repaired. We got that repaired today. So good job. Those guys got in there, they knocked it out, and it is completely done. So we are making progress. But yes, there's a bunch more work where we thought was completed, is not complete. There was a question, Selectman McKenzie, that you had around whether or not we had proper training on the software to completely understand its capability. There has been some training, but there is additional training that is required for both the folks that are reading the meters as well as the folks that are in the office.
A very well-phrased way of saying no. Selectman McKenzie asked if they had the proper training to deal with the software back at City Hall and with reading the meters and whatnot. The answer, typical answer, they have been trained, but there's additional training needed before it's complete. So the answer is no. They have not been fully trained on how to operate any of this. You get the results you prepare yourself to get. It doesn't just magically happen. City administrator is at least trying. He is making an effort, though.
That are using that software, because ideally what we want to do is to be able to use that software as a way to provide this board information that allows you guys to manage better. And so we're focused on that. I got focused on that just last week, so we're making progress. We certainly don't have all the answers, but we did discover that we have those 200 meters as well as those registers that need to be replaced.
Okay.
200 meters, some registers, all to go with the 400 meters we previously fixed in the last few months. So that takes us up to 600 meters in a town with 6,000 households. That's not acceptable. That didn't just happen over the last year. Those problems we know for a fact those problems didn't just crop up because we had some accounts. This was a big deal. This was discussed at length in open meetings. Some of those accounts hadn't paid a water bill in years. Here is my opinion. Here is my theory. And I kind of alluded to this earlier. But I'm just going to come right out and say it because nice to meet you. If that surprises you, welcome to the show. Make yourself comfortable. You got to bring your own snacks. We have people in City Hall that are far too busy. Not all of them. Let's make that clear. Not all of them. But we have people in City Hall who are far too interested in playing good governance than actually providing it. Again, what do we go by? Not what we say, not the ridiculous overblown nonsense that we get about things are great. Come on down. It's a great day. Things are getting so much better in the city of McComb, except for all the water leaks and those broken water meters and the potholes on the roads and The people getting shot, aside from that, things are fantastic. Come on over. It's time to stop playing and start doing. Seems like the new city administrator has that attitude, and good for him. Behind him 100%. Especially with another problem that we'll get to here in just a second. Let's continue with the water meter conversation.
When we replaced registers, how many registers did we replace?
400.
400. And these new 200 has nothing to do with that 400. Okay. Just wanted to make sure of that.
You want to clarify that they didn't immediately go bad again. That is not the save you think it is. That's not the face-saving move that you might consider it to be. Because all you're doing there is admitting that these are 200 additional problems nobody caught on the first go-around, which means you only caught 2/3 of the problem on the first pass. We have also discovered that they are not fully trained on the water system software or dealing with the meters themselves. Obviously, they're getting better. Somebody found these, so good job there. But nobody cares. Thanks for clarifying that it's an even bigger problem than we were told it was, than we thought it was. Good job. That makes everybody look at it much more charitably.
Selectman Cotty, Selectman Thompson first.
Yeah, me first. Is any of these bad meters in Ward 4? The reason I'm asking is that we already have Greenbrier there that's running water lines and tapping into the 6-inch line. This would be the perfect time to have them to install some if that was the case.
It's going to be a change.
I would have to look at the data to see.
Yeah, we have a report out there. We'll take a look at that to see if any of those are in Ward 4. It's fairly comprehensive.
It's going to be a change order.
Pardon?
That would be a change order if we want Greenbrier to change out.
And now, I would like to remind you, before we continue playing, that the city clerk, who resigned yesterday unceremoniously and said would not be rescinding this decision, I'm gone. Don't ask me again. Don't bother me. One of her stated reasons was the bureaucratic environment, the bureaucratic nonsense, I would suspect, the bureaucracy in everything, the nitpicking and spending so much time, energy, and attention on little ridiculous details to make sure everything is right to a T in what we say and how we do it, instead of actually just getting things done. Just wanted to remind you that was in the resignation letter from the city clerk yesterday before we continue this conversation.
Of the registers.
I mean, I'm just speaking of the registers.
What did I just say? That would have to be a change order because that is not a part of that contract.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have we started billing the people that were receiving free water?
Yes.
Well, that sounded certain.
We have started to bill them, and what we're now trying to make a determination as to what happens, just for your information, is that whenever a meter is operating as designed, then there's a default bill that they get. It doesn't have anything to do necessarily with the amount of water used, but that is the best we can make because the meter isn't working properly. And so what I have asked Janika to do is to start to look at those that where we had issues that are now repaired and find out what the average billing is. And so that's going to take a little bit of work and a little bit of time to assess that, and then we'd have to make a projection, and then I think it's arguable.
So that's 35 meters that was identified by
Water companies.
Water Company of America. Those 35 meters we're getting data on to determine also as to what, if any, that they would.
Also as to what, if any. We have got to try to sound as important and intelligent as we can, because the alternative is to act that way and, using the most complicated language possible to say we're looking at it is much easier. Let me play that part again. See if you can follow that sentence.
To determine also as to what, if any, that they would get.
Absolutely, and they've started invoicing us, and we paid the first invoice, I think, last week. But all of those are repaired, and they are operational. These 200 that Eric and myself and Janika were talking about, these are one that his department, along with Janika, discovered those. They're in various stages of disrepair.
I was going to wait till after the break. Nope, can't do it. Let's go right into the fire hydrant discussion.
With the broken fire hydrants, we'll still be doing an assessment. We have identified so far 40,
Maybe a little more.
a little more, at least 40 fire hydrants that are going to need to be repaired.
Here's a fun fact. Did you know every year the fire department goes around, tests all the meters, and turns in a report? But we just discovered this. Oh, look. It was hiding under the sofa in the break room the entire time. Nobody knew. Yeah, everybody knew. Everybody's known for a while. Now, let's talk about broken fire hydrants. And I'm sure some of the pedantic nonsense slingers at City Hall would say, we didn't say they were broken. We just said that they needed to be repaired. What do you repair broken things? Don't even start with your word salad nonsense. At this point, it's far too late. Nobody's buying it anymore. So if you happen to live within range of one of the broken hydrants, there's less water to put out the fire if your house catches on fire. Let's just boil this down to the simplest terms. If there's a hydrant right in front of your house, but it doesn't work, and your house catches on fire, well, we're going to have to go find another hydrant that does work. This, by the way, is why the fire department tests these on a regular basis, and why they put together a report so they know where they can go to get water when they need it, because it's not just any hydrant. This is an enormous deal, and I would think if you have that many hydrants out, I suspect it's going to be more by the time the dust settles on all of this. I suspect it's going to be more than, well, he said a few more than that. So we'll round it up and say 50. Between 40 and 50, because he said 40, and the fire chief said, going to be a few more than that. So we know it's over 40, between 40 and 50. What's that going to do to our fire rating? Because that kind of thing gets taken into consideration. I don't care how top-notch your fire department is, and we have a top-notch fire department in the city of McComb. If they don't have water, what are they supposed to do? Gather around your house in a circle and go, I mean, what's your plan? So that's going to affect the insurance rating if that continues and isn't fixed. Of course, the city administrator says it's going to be fixed, which is good because we've never heard that about anything else in the city of McComb before, so I think we're in good shape now.
Now, Eric and his team, they are prepared to repair those, and it's going to be important during this assessment period that Public Works and the fire department that we are talking so that when we repair those fire hydrants, that they operate in accordance with the engineering. So we'll be working through that.
That is one criticism I have. The new city administrator apparently just blends right in at City Hall, and with the bureaucracy that caused the city clerk to quit yesterday, because that was a lot of words to say we're going to fix them. A lot of words.
Fire hydrants that they operate in accordance with the engineering. So we'll be working through that.
They operate within the accordance of the engineering. We're going to fix them. We're going to make them work. Going to get the anti-fire juice coming out of them again. I don't care how you phrase it, but you don't have to use this official sounding, oh, well, we must make sure everyone realizes that we're important and we're on top of this and we're very intelligent. Very intelligent. That's why we use big words and barely understandable sentences, because, we're up on this level and we have to deal. That's the impression it gives. And that ain't helping. Ask the city clerk. Oh, wait. She told you not to even contact her again in the nicest possible way. Notice her resignation letter was written in bureaucratic language. Why? Because you write for your audience. You got to write it in a way they'll understand. If she had put, I quit, don't bother me, I'm not coming back, they wouldn't have understood it. Is this fair? No. Is it fair if somebody's house burns down while the fire department desperately searches for a working hydrant? Also no, and I know which one of those angers me. So I as usual, after a decade, I'm going to lose 0 seconds of sleep over someone being upset. This is just the way it is. And we need to figure out how to get it to not be this way anymore. We are making moves in the right direction. Again, I give credit to City Administrator Bell, full credit. He's trying. He is making an honest effort, it seems. I just think he may have underestimated the strength of the enemy forces. Just my thought.
We are... How far along are you, would you say?
We're just a little over halfway done now, testing. According to how the week falls with what shifts on duty, because we can't test on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I'm going to say by the end of March we should be done.
Okay, we won't talk about that.
Okay.
The only reason I'm saying is because we're pushing up against the schedule, which I said let's try and be done by the end of February, which I know is a stretch. Yeah. So I get it, right? Yeah, I know it's a stretch goal, but we're gonna work. We'll work toward it.
Yeah, that's in 10 days. So you got to repair a minimum of 4 fire hydrants per day, every day, including those Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, because if you back that out, well, you got to do 7 or 8 per day to reach that goal. Yeah. It's one of those cases where, well, once again, we're talking a big game. We may be talking too big of a game to get that done in time. Of course, that's how you get results. That's how you increase, the return, if you will, is by pushing. I get that. We have had 8 years of pushing, but it's been in the wrong direction on the wrong things. That's why you have this problem to deal with now.
Some things will never change.
Maybe.
They stand there looking backwards, half unconscious from the pain. They may seem
we'll see a difference.
In the back
also, if you see any pigs with wings doing deep knee bends and stretches, they're getting ready to fly.
Says I find ways
Should be a big event. Bring the kids out. We got more. Don't worry. Just remember, if your house catches on fire, it is a non-zero chance that the closest fire hydrant won't work in the city of McComb. It's unacceptable. It's also not a new problem. We're going to try to frame this like, oh, we just found this. Oh my goodness, no. We just finally got somebody in there that's actually looking at all the things that have been said for the past 8, 10, 12 years and at least trying to do something about them. So good for him. We continue on this Wednesday morning on SuperTalk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Right after this. Keep it here.
And when I wake up in the morning to feel the daybreak on my face.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Welcome back. Fun fact, 38 Special still touring out there and just released a new album in the last 6 months. Yeah, they're still going. Go look it up. Love me some 38 Special. Big fan of the bands, too. We're back. SuperTalk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Couple of other things just want to catch up with and clean up from the board meeting. The work session. It wasn't an actual meeting. To start the meeting, the mayor read a statement. This was the first thing to happen after the opening prayer and whatnot.
We do have an agenda. We're going to do our best to follow the agenda there. But before we start tonight, I have a very short statement I need to read. I want to take a moment to let the family of Keith Jalen Cook know that the Board of Mayor and Selectmen and Select Women prayers are with the family. Another precious soul gone too soon. This is not a time for political posturing.
Because if you keep pointing out that 4 years ago, part of my platform I ran for mayor on was that I was the only person that had a plan to take care of crime and people being killed in McComb, this is not the time to do that because, well, it's quite obviously wrong on the face of itself in light of current events. So this is not the time for that. When is the time? That's my question. How many more have to die before suddenly it's time to talk about this? Hold on. I haven't used this phrase all day. I have to use it now. I'm just asking questions.
It is a time for us to show our compassion, empathy, and love for this family.
He's not wrong, but you know what? And here's the fun thing. Did you know, and I don't think this is common knowledge in certain offices at City Hall up on the second floor, did you know you can do more than one thing at a time? You can have compassion. You can have empathy. Your heart can break for that mama who was crying in her front yard because her 14-year-old was just gunned down while he was innocently at home doing nothing, saying she can't wait to get out of McComb. Your heart can go out to her and envelop her. You can have just a heart-rending sympathy for her. And still want to know what the hell the mayor was talking about 4 years ago when he ran for office and said he was the only person, he was the only candidate that had a plan to deal with the crime problem in McComb. You can do both at the same time. That's called a false equivalency. You can't do that because of this. This is not the time to do something that would matter. We need to have pretty words. You know, pretty words like you would find in a bureaucracy. Now, at the same time that's going on, I mentioned it briefly yesterday, but the Democratic Party of McComb has filed a complaint with the Secretary of State's office that the Republican candidates for office in McComb for the election didn't follow proper procedures, and therefore they should be removed from the ballot. All because there was no Republican executive committee. Fun fact, there was no Democratic executive committee either. It was discussed and decided in a meeting, and the city attorney said this is fine. Nobody had a committee. The committees of the county managed all of this and are managing all of this for the city of McComb. So either you're arguing that everyone needs to be removed from the ballot and we just not have an election at all, or you're trying to blow smoke up everyone's behind in a clearly legitimate partisan way to get rid of your opponents that you are obviously terrified of. Select-Man McKenzie, towards the end of the meeting, gave a statement about this situation.
Mayor, can I read two statements before you do that?
You can.
I want to state publicly that the Republican Party has qualified Matt County and myself for city elections. I want to thank the city board attorney for her excellent analysis via email that the Republican Party followed the qualification process without any violation of state law in her professional opinion.
100% truth. But this is the kind of ridiculous, ill-conceived, unthought-out nonsense that we continue to have to deal with. On the bright side, it beats fixing the fire hydrants. If you cry, I mean, you know, that would take work. Some of them have only been broken for years. Get to let them age properly to do a good repair job, right? I mean, yeah, we can't keep a city clerk. We have raging problems everywhere, but at least we called out the Republicans for daring to pick their candidates like we did. If you're still taking the Democratic Party and Democratic elected officials in McComb seriously, you're not paying attention. Final break. Shut it down next.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalk, PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have to pray. SuperTalk, PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl.
We have used up our minutes once again. Tomorrow, of course, it's North Pike Thursday, and we're going to talk a little baseball. It's time. That's the plan tomorrow morning at 9:06 on North Pike Thursday. It's almost not cold enough to play baseball anymore, isn't it? I've gotten used to baseball being synonymous with freezing to death. It's kind of nice out there today. They keep adding to the number of tornadoes that happened over the weekend between the central and south Louisiana and here in southwest Mississippi. It's now over 25 tornadoes that happened Saturday night into Sunday morning. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure there will be another line along shortly. It's the way it seems to be going these days. You have a wonderful day. Don't set your house on fire if you're next to a broken hydrant, and we'll do this again tomorrow morning at 9:06. My friend, I'll see you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.